Hey guys, it's Cisco Spider, and I was never a fan of the original Hotel Transylvania movie. The story was pretty dull and unoriginal. The characters were obnoxious, and the animation, while it does look nice, doesn't really fit the style of the movie. But as for this one, it has similar flaws, although this one is better than the first one, which isn't saying much since I did not like the first one. So the plot of the movie is that Mavis and Johnny has had a baby boy, and Dracula has to find out if the baby boy is a vampire before Mavis leaves Hotel Transylvania to move in with Johnny's family. The plot of the movie is pretty boring and predictable. The execution feels a little dull. You can pretty much predict what is going on in the movie from top to bottom. But at least the movie tried to tell some jokes. Most of them fell flat and were pretty awful. There's a few that made me laugh, but not as many as I would have liked. But still, there was a lot more jokes in this one than the first one that I liked, at least. Sometimes they just had to stop the movie just to make a really unfunny joke, and most of these jokes had to do with pop music, which, if you know me, I can't stand pop music, so of course these jokes did not make me laugh at all. They just made my head hurt, and I just had to close my eyes for a few seconds while that joke was playing. They're just not funny, but I guess they're just not for me. I can see most kids and some people who actually like pop music laughing at the joke. But for me, it just was awful. Also, the stuff that Drac does to prove that Dennis, the baby boy, is a vampire is pretty stupid and not funny. And that's probably because they spoiled a lot in the trailers. Plus, the Mavis plot of the story isn't really focused on too much in this movie, and I would have loved to see her involved in this movie a lot more, since she's probably my favorite character because she is a hot goth. The ending of this movie feels a little rushed and forced. I don't like how they randomly added Drac's dad in the movie just to make the ending a lot better. The ending should have just flowed naturally instead of feeling forced. As for the characters, most of them are pretty annoying. We have Drac, the main character, who tries to prove that Dennis is a vampire. We don't really understand why he wants to prove that he's a vampire since he's okay with humans now. His motivations wasn't really clear that much, and he does a lot of dangerous things that could possibly kill the kid, which I feel is a lot as selfish of him. Then there's Mavis, who is still a hot goth. She doesn't have much to do with this film. Like the first one, she's only here to make conflict with Drac, and that's about it. I would have liked it if she was kind of the main character in this film, but luckily she is getting her own show, her own cartoon series, I think. Hopefully it'll be directed by, or created by Gendy Tartakovsky. Maybe he'll work on it, and I hope it's 2D, because I would love to see Mavis in 2D. Then there's Johnny, who I hated a lot in the first one, but he isn't much in this movie. He's kind of like a side character, but for all the dialogue he has, he is still really annoying, with him being extreme and loving social media and being all cool and gangsta. I just find him really annoying. Then we have the Drac pack, which consists of the werewolf, the mummy, the Frankenstein, and the Invisible Man. I don't care about their names. They aren't annoying. Their whole purpose in this film is just to make you laugh. They're the comedy reliefs. Most of their jokes aren't that funny. There's a few of them that made me chuckle, but for the most part, they're just not funny. But they're not annoying. But if you took them out of the film, it wouldn't change a lot, plot-wise. Then we have Drac's dad, Vlad, as they call him. I don't care for his character at all. We don't get to know anything about his backstory or what he's doing with those bat creatures. It wasn't explained at all, just randomly, he's there, randomly. We don't get to know too much of the relationship between Vlad and Drac. I would have loved to see, maybe a little backstory montage thing during that, but nope. So I don't care for him, he's whatever. As for the animation, the background animation looks really nice, but as for the character design and movement, they do not work for a CGI film. It would work for maybe Popeye or a cartoon from the 40s. Sadly, Andy Tarkovsky is not working on the Popeye movie anymore, that I know of today at least. It would work for, you know, a cartoon style like that, but as for this type of crappy movie genre, it just does not work. I feel like this movie would have looked a lot better in hand-drawn animation, and this can be proven by the end credits of both of the movies. So, Hotel Transylvania 2 is a dull movie with pretty bad jokes, annoying characters, and animation that does not fit its style. If you liked the first Hotel Transylvania movie, then you'll definitely like this one. But if you're like me and did not like the first one, then you'll probably feel the same way for this one, although the second one is still better than the first one. Let me just say that. So, yeah, I'm the Spider, and blah blah blah. I just sold that.